Hey everyone, it's Leo, and today I'm going to give you a rundown on my bikepacking setup. So everything I carry when I hit the road for a multi-day ride. So whether you're planning your first trip or you're just curious about gear, this video is for you. I will not be showing the contents of each bag because it changes drastically from trip to trip depending on your goals, the weather and terrain. But the bike, the bags and the group set, they all have remained the same since 2021. So let's dive in. Before we start, it's important to say that there is no such thing as the perfect bikepacking setup. This is what works for me, but who knows what in a few months it's going to look like. Let's start with the basics, the bike. This is the 2021 Salsa Cutthroat. It's been with me since 2021, so 4 years now, which is crazy to think. It has over 50,000 kilometers on it and is still running very strong. It accompanied me in all parts of the world, from the Colorado Rockies to the Moroccan desert, Spain, Brazil, and the Chilean Andes. It's been everywhere and we still have a lot of plans for this year. I absolutely love how it rides, especially when fully loaded. It's stable yet fast at the same time, which is all I want on a bikepacking setup. The group set. It's built around the SRAM Force AXS. Initially, I was very concerned about electronic shifting for bikepacking, but just like the BOA system, I've never had any issues with it, except for a broken lever following a crash at Unbound a few years ago. It's got a massive 10-52 cassette and a 36-tooth chainring. For the wheels, I have Reynolds TR249, and I gotta say that these have been the best wheels I've ever used. Completely trouble-free since 2021. These are the wheels that came with the bike. For the tires, I run Rene Hurst Fleecer Ridge and Stans sealant inside. Up here on the handlebar, we have the Spank Industries Flare 25. It's a 42 centimeter handlebar. I absolutely love the drop. It's very comfortable on the hoods. For my contact points, I have the Ergon SR saddle. It just works for my butt. I also use Ergon's tape on the handlebar. I love how thick and comfortable the tape is, especially in rough terrain, but it's not the strongest. The outer layer rips easier than most. Now my favorite part about bikepacking bags. At this point, it's important to say that Revelate Designs have sponsored most of my bikepacking projects since 2021, when I became a professional photographer. But I have never reached out to them in the first place if I didn't think that they were making the best bags. So take that as you will. In the back, we have the Terrapin, which is a 100% waterproof and incredibly stable over rough terrain. That's the bag I'll carry for bikepacking racing or a tour when I don't need to carry a full sleep system, like the Strada Real trip, for instance. I love how you can remove the dry bag from the holster and you can carry inside of a tent or a hotel room. And that's where I'll keep my spare clothes, my jacket, zero sandals, cables, and toiletries. Last year I tried panniers for the first time on our trip across Spain, which then we used with the Old Man Mountain Elkhorn rack. And I'm truly sold on that system for longer trips when I need to carry more gear. It's way more stable since the weight is lowered on the bike in comparison to saddlebags like the Terrapin. For ultra racing though, I would switch the Terrapin to the GRIII bag, for instance, to carry just the essentials. On the frame bag, I keep things I want easy access to, as well as the heaviest items. So, inner tube, rain jacket, pump, Dumont Tech chain lube, a first aid kit, a repair kit, and I also like to leave some extra space for food. Up here we have the Jerrycan. I love this little bag and I keep items that I would need fast access to. So spare batteries for my AXS system and spot tracker, a full-length Allen key, size 4, 5, and 6, because you can fix most of your bike with those 3 sizes of Allen keys. In here we have the MagTank 2000, and that's where I'll carry most of my calories. So think of gummy bears, cookies, french fries, pão de queijo, and finally the feed bags. On the left I carry a spot tracker locked in place with an S carabiner. I also put food or an extra bottle of water, depending on where I'm riding. On the right I carry a Ricoh GRIII inside of an old f-stop bag. I absolutely love this camera, and I might actually do a review at some point, but the image quality is amazing. It's got an APS-C sensor, a 24 megapixel resolution. It just shoots amazing photos. Autofocus is a hit or miss, but it's a great little camera to carry. Now, the front changes quite a bit. If we're riding from hotel to hotel like we did in Estrada Real, and I don't have to carry a full sleep system like sleeping bag, tent, and a sleeping pad, I wouldn't carry anything up front. If we're camping, I would include a pronghorn with the egress attached to it. It's a great system and it's very stable. But if I'm doing an ultra race and I want to be light and fast and aero, and I want to use my aero bar, I would just use the pitchfork with just a few essential layers like a jacket and clothes, and still be able to use my aero bar without a problem. For navigation, I use a Wahoo Element Roam. That's the first computer I bought in 2021 for my first ultra race, the Iowa Wind and Rock, which went completely south, but that's a story for another time. And it has served me well throughout the years. I obviously have complaints, and I wish they would improve in certain ways, which I think they did on the third iteration. Might have to give it a try at some point. At the time, I thought it was the best computer you could get. I just don't understand why the name of the roads don't show up on the map. This sounds logical for a navigation system, but it has frustrated me since the first iteration of the ROM. Come on guys, fix this up. Water goes on the fork because I don't like to carry anything on my back like a bladder. It messes up with how my body regulates temperature, and I don't like to have a pressure on my seat bones after like 10 plus hours on a saddle. And that's it. That's my full kit breakdown. Let me know if you want to see what's inside of the bags. I don't think you do, but if you do, let me know in the comments. Subscribe for more adventures, gear, and films. And always keep chasing regrets, kids.